was your Tyler's back with a special, another Road to WrestleMania, the third episode, third to last, rather, because we got two left. Saturday, Stone Cold's Road to WrestleMania 17, and next week will be The Undertaker's Road to WrestleMania 23. WrestleMania 23, yeah. Speaking of, I found the Monday Night Wars Undertaker at Walmart, and what I did, I'll show you that by the episode Showdown this Wednesday, next Wednesday rather. I used the Ultimate Edition body, which now I didn't like the way they use like the regular head. The head skulls on that one were kind of not what Undertaker was around that time, but I used that Monday Night Wars Undertaker head and the hand, the glove molds. They were the same glove molds with the Hollywood Hogan one, but they painted the fingers on them. And I made my custom Ultimate Undertaker that you'll see on Showdown episode 20. But we're not gonna talk about Undertaker until next week. I just had to point that out there. Let's talk about, this one right here. And this is going to be Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair's Road to WrestleMania 34. Just like with AJ Styles I did. This is kind of similar to AJ Styles' Road to WrestleMania from that. Where Charlotte's Road to WrestleMania started when, similar to AJ Styles, won a championship before Survivor Series. In this case, Charlotte won the SmackDown Women's Championship on the last SmackDown before Survivor Series from Natalya. I'm just being honest here, Natalya was the most forgettable women's champion in the modern era, so yeah. And Charlotte would go on to beat Alexa Bliss at Survivor Series, which was actually a good match, though. Although not as good as their Extreme Rules 2021 match, which that was the only match that was great. You get. We're not gonna talk about Extreme Rules again, 2021, because that show sucked. It was the worst pay-per-view of 2021. Then we enter the Riot Squad storyline and the continuation from with Natalya also. So basically, this whole thing started after Survivor Series and led to Clash of Champions, which was the culmination of the Charlotte Natalya feud in a lumberjack match, which was not a bad match, honestly. But this feud with the Riot Squad begun after Survivor Series. They were part of the Lumberjacks at Survivor Series, or Clash of Champions. Not Survivor Series, oh my god. Clash of Champions. Now, this is not mostly that big of a storyline. It was mostly just Charlotte, Naomi, and Becky fighting the Riot Squad in 6-woman tag matches. But the Rumble, Charlotte didn't have a match on that show, but I can forgive it for being the first Women's Royal Rumble match, which we don't know who won this one. Asuka. And we're not going to mention Horseface around showing up as overshadowing our moment. I already mentioned it in my Rumble review 2 years ago, in the 2018 Rumble review I did, rather. So, but we know what the plan was for WrestleMania 34. But not yet. Then Charlotte started going through one member of the Riot Squad, which was her and Ruby Riott at Fastlane, which was actually a hidden gem on that show, that show was actually good. Fastlane 2018, which was the last SmackDown exclusive pay-per-view. Can WWE please bring back the brand exclusive pay-per-views? Triple H, please do it. But that's not what people remember about that match, honestly. What matters the most was afterwards this is the memorable moment of Fastlane 2018 when Asuka came out and we get her and Charlotte facing off, and Asuka points to the WrestleMania sign, and this was the match that we're gonna see. And I said this before, I said it again. Asuka and Charlotte's flag. If you know Danny Fam, you know that basically. And I said this before. The build to it, it was just Asuka was mostly on the Raw side of this whole thing, but it doesn't matter if the Rumble who won the Rumble. They face either brand's title, which was a star win in 2004 when Chris Benoit did it. The whole thing with WrestleMania 20, Benoit found a loophole, basically, which begins the whole thing of who will face the champion at WrestleMania, Raw or SmackDown. Undertaker's cage was 3, which was, we'll get to that next week, actually. The whole thing with Charlotte saying, be careful what you wish for, which kind of is a foreshadowing of what happens to them. And Asuka says, I chose you because I like a challenge, which no offense to Alexa Bliss, but Asuka would squash her at WrestleMania 34, which, honestly, when I knew Asuka won, I knew Asuka was going to win the Women's Royal Rumble, and I kind of knew she was going to challenge Charlotte, because, let's be real here, because these two were the most modern best women's wrestlers today. And I can put Becky Lynch on there too. And the match at WrestleMania 34, what else do I have to say? It's the best match on that show. Literally. And now I get to the biggest elephant in the room, because yes, Charlotte did win, but here's one of the main reasons why I was okay how the match ended. I do, because, listen, a lot of people said Asuka should have won. And to my response is, then what? I know a lot of people say, well, she should do the match at SummerSlam, which, in my what if, what was it? It was season 3, right? I kept the feud going, basically, from Backlash. Also get her win back, and then you do the rubber match at SummerSlam. But to me, Asuka had to lose. I mean, she has to lose at some point, It's like with Goldberg, which I'm not going to go into that whole controversy with Goldberg and Asuka's situation with the streak thing, okay? Let's not talk about it. And it's kind of funny in the case because I have them both on my roster as in action figures form. My company, WECW. I did it last night. I filmed the episode of Showdown. But, again, Asuka had to lose. And to me, I would go with Charlotte Flair like they did here. Because, yes, it happened in the Superdome. The same way Undertaker streak, blah, blah, blah. Skip. But this was not as infuriating as the one at WrestleMania Authority with Brock Lesnar breaking Undertaker's WrestleMania streak, okay? This one I can't forgive. Because, let's be fair here. This match between Charlotte and Asuka at WrestleMania 34 in the same stadium was 10 times better than Brock and Undertaker was at WrestleMania 30, which, no offense to The Undertaker, but he looks so... Oh my... I don't want to say it, okay? I'm okay 6 years later with this decision. I am. I do, okay? Because yeah, that's how we're gonna end this, okay? I was okay with this. So join me Saturday for the second to last Road to WrestleMania. I'm gonna talk about Stone Cold Steve Austin's Road to WrestleMania 17. You know, the CEO of WECW, who's gonna face Batista at Night of Glory, my biggest show of the year, which is my WrestleMania, honestly. And next week will be the last one, The Undertaker. Road to WrestleMania 23. Road to WrestleMania 23. Sunday, I'll do the SpongeBob Boarding Bash game review, okay? I'll get that done and over with. Yeah, and then SmackDown review also. I hope it'll be live on, like, Monday. Regardless. Like this video, comment down below, subscribe to this channel right here, and click the notification bell. As well as my secondary channel, Tyler's Retro Review, so we'll be back in a week from now. In 2 weeks. TNA Lockdown 2006. And I'll see you there. Bye-bye.